place, we have, it's like is it a slogan, but something that we believe in. We serve with the Boda community. And so that slogan says that we are ladies and gentlemen, serving ladies and gentlemen. I serve at Pure Flow, and I serve as a spiritual growth manager. And so we believe that for us who are in the white collar jobs, we are ladies and gentlemen, but the people that we serve that in the community, the low community people, the low income people, people that have not gone to school, they are ladies and gentlemen. And so they deserve the respect, they deserve the care that we deserve as well. And they face the challenges that we face as well. Why am I saying that? People that you are seeing here going to speak to us tonight. Meanwhile, I do welcome you, men. And I want to say that they are facing probably the things that you are facing, or probably they have faced the challenges that you are facing right now. And so in a few years to come, you might be the one here going to speak to the students of MUST that will be here by that time. My name is Innocent Aineviona. I am married to Joanita. We've made 2.5 years in marriage, and we have one boy called Anka. The Lord has been so faithful. I went to UCU for my social work bachelor's. That was 2016 is when I graduated, and then to UMI for postgraduate in project planning and master's. Currently, I'm a prospective PhD student here at MUST. Yes, soon. Yeah, that's how we are called. I received an email that had prospective students, then mentors and all that for a symposium that would be happening on 20th of this month, which I registered to attend. And I'm born again. I serve at All Saints. I lost my dad when I was 2 weeks old, and so I was raised by a woman, my grandmother, from the age of 6 months when my mother brought me home. And my uncles, the 2 uncles that I have, my maternal uncles, were not at home. They're not available. That's the polite way I can say it. And so all that I know was a woman. I finished primary, went to secondary. It was in senior 3, 2009, when the senior man at the assembly, I was in a mixed school, at the assembly, they said, ladies, you can go to this room, we want to talk to you. And then I remember our senior man then, who was the deputy headmaster, said, but why do you always call ladies alone? And where are the gentlemen? He said, also gentlemen, go to the dining hall and I find you. And he gave us a talk for like close to three hours. And I remember everything that he shared. That was the first time I heard like a man's voice in my life. And so I want to say that you are blessed to have such summits organized and workshops and trainings. Do we need empowerment? Yes, we need the empowerment. Who will empower us is a question that has been posed tonight. The empowered will empower us, but also we need to empower ourselves. So you coming here, it is one way of empowering yourself. And so tonight I'm talking about wellness in action. My topic that I have designed of the PhD that I submitted to my supervisor, I'm forgetting English, but the supervisor that I suggested is about the mask of wellness among the young professionals. You can be here, you're smiling, like things seem to be fine. Everyone wishes that they could be like you. You can be even smart, but all you're doing is the mask. You're just masking. You're covering a lot of bitterness, a lot of things within your life that if you open up your life, the world will get shocked. And so that's the world that we are in, the situation that we are facing right now. And I want to assume or say that some people that are here, you might be masking to be like all things are well. I am a worshiper, I sing in church. And sometimes you go on stage, you have to lead the worship, you have to sing. But when things really are burning you up, but you have to get on stage, you can't have a gloomy face, and you have to sing, and you have to smile for people, but deep within you, you are dying. And so talking about wellness in action, the mental fitness. I'm glad they brought the mental fitness. For people that do exercises here, we exercise to be fit. We go to the gym to be fit. We do the jogging, we do the aerobics and all these things that we become physically fit. But are we mentally fit? And so, gentlemen that are here and the two ladies that we have, how are you handling life? In this world that is full of responsibilities, full of demands, full of pressures and expectations, how are you treating the man or the woman inside you? I want to tell you that there is a man inside you that no one is seeing except you and your God. There is a woman inside you that only you knows about. For us, we're just seeing the physical appearance. Hey, so-and-so is smart, so-and-so has a calm, so-and-so is always laughing. Maybe so-and-so isn't so sure what. But there is someone inside you. How are you treating that? And so how well are we taking care of the man inside the man? And that's the mental fitness that we have to talk about. As students, we might be having stresses that come from books, basically, that come from lack of tuition and expectations of you have to perform well, you have come from a good school, maybe you're in government or something like that, and you're stressed about it. Even relationships at some point come through with your parents, with your lecturers, and the love relationships with your girlfriends and the boyfriends. And so, how are we handling that, the pressures that we face, the expectations that we have? Men, someone said the future fathers and husbands, that's true. Men, God has called us to lead. God has called us to protect. But I want to say, for us to do all those things, we have to be well first. There's no how you can lead when you are not well. No. All you're doing is masking. So how well are you? Mentally, physically, socially? Allow me actually first say that in life there are 5 capitals that we need. And the 5 capitals are, 1, the financial capital. We are here in school, we are studying, we need to get money. We are working, we need to get money. We're having the side hustles and side gigs because we want money. The other one is the spiritual aspect. How is your relationship with God? The other one is the physical. Are you well? Are you sick? Are you on medication? Are you physically fit? Do you exercise? Do you eat well? Do you do all that? How is your health? That is the physical. The social is the relationship with people. How are we relating with people that we have? You know, people that today they have this one as a bestie or a best friend or as a close person. The next morning they cannot see them. They have to change. Like, you find they have issues with this one and the other. Like, socially, they are doing bad. They might have the money, they might be physically okay, but socially, they are losing it. And then the other one is something to do with the cognitive aspect, like your intelligence, with your mental. Are you equipping yourself academically? Are you studying? Are you learning new things? We have AI these days. We have the YouTube. We have the speakers. We have the conferences. Are you educating yourself? Can you get at the table of men and have a discussion? Those are the things that we need. And so the fact that we need them, we need to have mental health. We need to be mentally well. We need to be mentally fit. And a strong mind helps us to make better decisions. One thing that I've learned in life is when I am totally sad, I should not make a decision. And when I am very extremely happy, I should also not make a decision. Why? Because at those two extreme points, you are not sober. You are not yourself. You can be very happy, and then you make a decision like all of you, they should give you tea on my bill. Kumbe just have like 50,000. And then the bill to come is 600. And now you are wondering, making phone calls here and there. Or maybe you can be sad, now like Ms. Mara, and then you tell your wife you are a dog, and now it becomes an issue because you said it out of anger. Like you're not so. We have to be very sober to make a decision. One of the things that I do when I'm not sober, I usually sleep. And so by the time I wake up, the minds are back and I can make good decisions. I don't know the decisions that you've been making as men that are here tonight. Have you been making them out of depression, out of wellness, out of pressure, out of everyone is doing it? I don't know. But you have to be sober to make the right decisions. And some mental fitness is like a muscle. It's like a muscle. People that do like football and athletics and all that, you have to keep training. You have to train. You have to train your mind to be well. And at every stage in life that we reach at, there's something that will always hit us. Right now, you're having academics. I remember when I was doing my bachelor's at UCU, I was performing very well. I was seeing first class coming home. And then I no longer wanted to be a doctor. And then I went into a course unit that had like social work and hospital, something to do with that. And then I reached there, things hit me. And I remember even I got like 10 out of 40 in a coursework, something like that. Like things were not coming out. I almost, but thank God somehow a miracle happened. We got other courseworks. But every time I would be in my room, I was staying in the hall, I would remember how I am going to fail just because of this. Like it affected my mind all through. And I remember one of the students, my classmates, saying, "Hey, even Innocent has failed, finally." And that would ring into my mind all through. But God is faithful anyway. The first class came home. But I thought about it all the time. Men, knowing that mental fitness is like a muscle, we need to keep practicing. We need to keep feeding on the right food. And in this case, I'm not talking about cassava and G-nuts and posho. I'll talk more about that along the way. We need to keep in practice for us to remain relevant, for us to remain mentally fit. We have to keep practicing and doing things that glorify God. And Proverbs 23:7 tells us that as a man thinks in his heart, so he is. Whatever you're thinking, if you have been having suicidal thoughts, trust me, you're either depressed or one day you will commit suicide and then we will wonder. Or if you have been thinking of doing something bad to your fellow student, just know that you are a witch, right? But how can we overcome that? We can always think right. Whatever you're thinking, if you're thinking that you cannot settle for less, trust me, you are going to soar higher and higher and are going to be like amazing. Like, hey, this guy from where you mean he's in the state? Yes, because his mind is there up. He's thinking of tomorrow already. So, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Trust me. And then this topic that I'm covering tonight is mental fitness And then we are going to the physical part. We need the physical strength, like the other 5 capitals I told you about. How are we physically? I know right now you might be having the challenges of, I don't have food. You're struggling with having food, probably, or you're struggling with accessing probably the medical attention you would want to. But there is tomorrow. We are preparing you for tomorrow. The decisions that you're making right now, they are affecting your future. You will not just wake up tomorrow and you start doing certain things because maybe like in 60s, no. Let it start now. Even when you have given birth to your children, start mentoring them early so that they grow into a habit. One thing as to why when you wake up you shower, just in case you shower, it's just because when you were every morning, you would do what? Okay, like every day, maybe. Somehow you would shower. Or the reason as to why you dress up is because when you had started understanding, you found, hey, it is important for man to do what? To dress up. So it becomes a discipline. If you just wake up one day and you get out and you got out of the hole and you are naked, we would get worried. We would wonder what is happening, so and so. He's mad. Take him to the counselor, take him to the rehabilitation center. We would get shocked. But because we grew up with this discipline of knowing, for example, you have to greet. You have to say thank you. Like it is in you. Personally, I always find it hard to call people that are older than me their names. Why? At home, that's the culture. You don't call someone older than you their name. If it is uncle, it is uncle. If it is aunt, it is aunt. So I've found that I always have to call people older than me, either aunt or uncle, even people that they might look at you as you are their supervisor or what, but somehow it has stuck into my mind. And so when we get to the physical aspect of it, how are we? Do we have the energy? Do we have the strength? Our bodies are temples of God. God has given us this body. And we are now in control of it. We are the stewards. How are we taking care of the body? We all know that it is important for a man to shower, for a man to shave, for a man to be well. But for a man, if you're not strong, then you might fail. I think in some cultures, they would, if you wanted to marry, you would have to first fight. And so if you would win, that means you are strong, and then you can now take the woman. Of course, now we are no longer in that generation. But that shows how a man had to be strong. Are we strong enough? Are we taking care of our bodies? You cannot lead well if you are sick. God has called us to lead. There's no way you can lead when you are sick, when you are suffering from depression, suffering from all these diseases. Actually, there's no way you can even lead when you are dead. We have to be physically strong, knowing that our bodies, 1 Corinthians tells us that in 6:19, that don't you know that your bodies are the temples of the Holy Spirit who lives in you and who was given to you by God. You do not belong to yourself but to God. And so as young men, we have to take care of this body that we have. Lest we shall lose it. Previously, we've been told that it's only like this that mind about the self-care. No. Even the gentlemen do. Imagine you have taken a week not showering. How would it feel like? We were in a counseling session and one person tells us how he went to a witch doctor, was doing for witches and all that. And then the doctor told him not to shower for 2 years. And then that things will work out. And I'm just imagining, 2 years. You miss a day and you are feeling out of place. I'm just imagining a week. We should not just walk anyhowly or live anyhowly or just be there. No. We have to take good care of what we have. The emotional strength, the ability to feel, the ability to control reactions, The ability to stay steady through life storms. Every day you are faced with a challenge. Every day. But how do you react? How do you respond? When the world serves you a storm, how do you go through it as a man? I believe by the end of tonight we will be empowered to know how to go through that. And whenever we are faced with something that affects our mind, that affects our emotions, that brings stress into our lives, we need to talk about those things. For example, it can be your girlfriend stressing you. You don't have, yourself, you're struggling with having food, and then they're asking you for money for hair. Your old students remember, and you don't want to lose her, and you don't want to, because you love her and all that. And then you're thinking of calling home, and then you tell them that, now, like, my parents are not educated. Probably some of you have them that are not educated, and I want to call them and tell them, we have this course unit. And they've told us to get 100,000 for it. And then Vambe, your old grandmother or father, is running into the family, the village of Gombe, looking for 100 to give you, just to give to your girlfriend, who will check you the next morning. And then the next morning they check you. How do you respond in such situations? How would you respond? In 2013, yeah, when we had just reached that campus, had reported, I was sponsored, I was on scholarship, and I also had other people that were on scholarships. And I remember one of us, a girl, who committed suicide because her boyfriend had chucked her. Are we reaching that point as men of killing ourselves, of not looking ahead, of not looking at the future because we have these stresses in life? We need to think through. Before you think of even committing suicide, or even before you think of running out of school, you need to think twice. We are looking at, we have the word purpose. Through purpose, wellness, and community, empowering men. Do we understand our purpose? Do we understand the reason as to why we are here tonight, or why we are at Must, or why God created us? And let me first say that no one is an accident here meanwhile. Probably your parents didn't want to give birth to you, but God planned it. And so that God had planned it, it means that there is a reason. Would you get back to God and ask him, why did you create me? And so men often carry silent pain. Some of you might be carrying some pain. And I want to say that, but healing begins when we name what hurts us. What is one thing that is hurting you? You know, sometimes you get issues and then you are pressing an ignore button, or you're living in denial, thinking that all is well. I'm a Christian, I have faith, I believe that all will be well, but there is always something that is not well. But this one here, I am struggling. Do not live a life that is full of denial. I serve in church, like I had earlier said. Someone might be serving in church here as well, but people have to look at you, and you are the holy one, you are a good one, you don't take alcohol, you don't womanize, you don't do what, but then you might be struggling with something. Do not live a life of denial. If you're struggling with something, please face it, name it, write it down. Like, I am struggling with this. So whom do I need in my journey that I can overcome this? Do not live in denial, friends. And because of time, I'm about to conclude. I want to say that mental fitness it sharpens your mind. It sharpens your mind. Like you are good. Like someone looks at you and like, oh wow, this guy is okay. They are, whatever they are saying, is like, you know, they are not just there. They know what they are doing because they are mentally well. And the emotional strength is an anchor to our soul. When you are emotionally okay, you are very okay. Like you are stable. Nothing can shake you because you know of the decisions that you are making. And then together, you form a foundation of a man. How is your foundation? Are you shaking? Is your foundation strong? I want to call us to action tonight. 1, I want us to always have a quiet time, a time of meditation, a time of thinking about our lives. We are still students, yes. We can have all the courseworks and all the discussions. We can be in the guild. We can be in fellowships. We can be everywhere serving. I'm that type. I served everywhere. I served on the guild. I served in fellowships. I served. Do you get time to listen to your man, the inside man that I mentioned? Do you get time to meditate, to know what is bothering you, to know what is causing issues in your life and how better you can be? We need to have a focused diet. And the diet in this case, the food that I talked about, thank you, is not the food of posho and beans and meat, no. What do you feed your soul with? What are the things that you get to read? What are the things that you listen to? I'm a social media person, and so there's a lot of things on this social media that can make you, you can even run mad. But what do you choose to believe in? What do you choose to listen to? What are you feeding on? The third thing is that talk it out. Real men do not bottle things up. No. If you are struggling, seek counsel. I want to believe that this university has a counselor. Or we have people that are mentoring us. We have people that we look up to. You seek mentorship, seek counseling. Do not die alone. Don't die alone. Because when you keep bottling up things, doing things, and you like whatever hurts you, you keep bottling and bottling, you will end up committing suicide and you will die. We will lose you. The fourth one is express, do not explode. When you are having something bothering you, affecting your mind, affecting your health, affecting you as a man, express it. Do not explode. Exploding is when you're causing chaos all over. And everyone gets to know so and so has been affected. But expressing it is a polite way of bringing your issues, talking about them, and seeking counsel and reacting in a positive way. The other one is brotherhood. We need to have people that we are accountable to. We need to have brothers that we can sit with and talk issues and share our issues with. Do not die alone. There's nothing you cannot share about. Share, build a strong bond, be a brother, be accountable to one another. Lastly, I want to say what we need to rest. You did not create this world. You found it, you will leave it. Rest. Take rest. You are everywhere. You are not the Holy Spirit. No, you are not. Take some time, rest. Think through life. Exercise for your physical fitness. Exercise for your mind to be okay. And when you have done all these things, I know that we are going to have men that are of impact, men that are going to cause influence in this generation, that are going to raise strong men that will become good fathers and good husbands for the ladies that have been empowered. May God bless you. Thank you.
Once again, a round of applause for our guest, Mr. Innocent. Mr. Innocent, thank you for the encouraging words that you've talked to us. He hinted on us being God's temple, as it is quoted in the Bible, in Proverbs and Corinthians, 1 Corinthians, yes. Once again, welcome people who have just entered in. In a special way, I welcome Mr. Emmanuel Maleka. Thank you for turning up. That gentleman, last few days back, I saw him in a 10. I think he was graduating in Masters. Congratulations. And also, I welcome once again Mr. Beda Whitney. And he supports Arsenal, by the way. Once again, I welcome Mr. Beda Whitney. That gentleman just seated next to him. He was my instructor of ICT in my year 1. Yeah, just like I said, I do electrical and electronics engineering in Chuhumuro, and I'm the GRC of electrical and electronics. We are going to have the next speaker talk to us under a topic of brotherhood in action, the power of men, lifting men. That's the topic. Yeah, thank you, NC. We're going to have our second speaker. The next speaker that we're going to have on stage, he's a public speaker and he coaches public speakers. He's the director at the Stagecraft and he's a debater. He's a lecturer at BSU and he was a guild presidential aspirant at BSU. He pursued his master's degree in space physics, and the privilege that he did it at MUST. He's a Red Cross member. He belongs to the Rotary Club of Mbarara specifically. And wow, he's a Christian Union member, none other than Mr. Muzira Crispus. A round of applause as we welcome Mr. Muzira Crispus.
Wow. So the Dean, the Minister of Gender and Guidance, yes, a very great woman in the house, members from the Guild, the 37th Guild Government, Mbarara University of Science and Technology, special guests in the house, wonderful gentlemen, yes, and we appreciate the company from our dear ladies. Allow me use this opportunity to shed a smart good evening. How are you? My name is Crispus Monzra Namanya. I added Namanya just recently. I spent 20 years without my dad. When I got to have him again in my life, I had to add his name. So my name is Monzara Crispus Namanya. I am, yes, I see my colleagues here, Brother Emma and Brother Beda. I am the president of the Rotary Club of Mbarara City, and the two are one of my, the two form a faction of very active members ready to impact the community, and we are a top club in the district, 9214. Those that know Rotary, they know what I mean. So I traveled from Kampala for this simple engagement. I am grounded a teacher of physics, taught at Bishop Stewart University for 5 years. I graduated in 2018, undergraduate, yeah, and immediately started teaching. And just a few months ago, I joined the Makerere University School of Education and External Studies. And also, I am a trainer in the faction of public speaking. The name is not Storagecraft, it is Stagecraft, the name of the company. We groom and mentor a new breed of public speakers because we believe it is through speech that leaders shall come. And my favorite quote is, keep left unless you're overturning. Or you keep left unless you're overtaking. And my favorite book, The World Changers Manifesto by Robin Sharma. My favorite movie, The Great Debaters. Right? And my favorite hashtag is Nibyebyo Badia. And every time I make a post, I must end with Nibyebyo Badia. So that is it. I am glad I have appeared here to share a few insights on probably what makes a man. And my brother Innocent will relate whatever I will say to the Bible. I may not be able to extract, biblical references. I am a born again in the truest way I understand it. Because what I know, I am a sinner and I sin every day. I don't know what will happen even after here. Yes, but I choose to recompose myself, resubscribe to my values, repent, and all that is all that counts, I hope, right? So whatever I'll say, I'll not maybe quote the Bible, but one of my most favorite verses is James chapter 1, verse 2, that we should consider ourselves fortunate whenever all kinds of trials come our way. Oh, you've heard that? Wonderful. I hope that makes me a Christian, because I am from a staunch Christian family. Now, I want to appreciate entirely the conveners of this engagement. This is our time as men to shine. Ladies have had many spaces, and in the morning you will receive a call from your mother quarreling why you didn't send a happy Mother's Day message. And in the afternoon, the next day, you will receive a call from your girlfriend that it is girlfriend's day. And then the other day, you remember you received a message also from your mom that it is Women's Day. And then you ask yourself, where are men? Because every other time we are celebrating the existence of ladies. Where are men? I think we also deserve spaces to shine. So we deserve spaces also to go and sharpen ourselves. So when we come here, fellow panelists will agree with me that we've come to discuss, agree to disagree as men, right? And at the end of the day, even the panelists will learn from the audience, because iron sharpens iron. We come here, we can agree to disagree. If there is any factor of life, we can choose to embrace it or take it away, right? So we have, very, very limited time. I don't know why they've given me all the 30 minutes. What will I really be doing? My friend Mark is laughing because he knows I love the microphone. But I want to disappoint him tonight that I will use only 20 minutes. Yes, Mark, I'm telling you this is very possible. Yes. So, ladies, thank you for joining us. When men meet, we don't talk about ladies. We talk about business. I don't know what happens when women meet. What happens? They talk about men. They talk about what? That is what I know. I want to share what I know about men. When men meet, they discuss business. I don't know what happens when ladies meet. Secondly, this is what I know about men. A man will never get annoyed because the colleague has a nicer tie. A man cannot feel anything bad because a colleague has a very beautiful suit. I don't know what happens with women after they've seen their colleagues have, improved on the hairstyle, and I don't know what happens there. But for me, what I know, men have 3 battles they fight. The first battle. Men are leaders. They will always fight to take on leadership positions. Naturally, they want to lead. So when they meet, most probably they will discuss politics. Is that true? I'm not getting to the Arsenal thing because I know my brother Emma is not even in the house. He's waiting for Sunderland. But sorry about that. Secondly, men will always want to belong to a family. They always fight to make sure a family is called after their name. Okunoa innocent. That's a war they fight. After they've fought to become leaders, they move extra miles and fight to have some land. That is why when you tamper with a man's piece of land, he can kill you. Am I right? The third, which is probably the most important, men fight to co-create. They fight so hard to have a child named after their existence. So if you're not fighting any of the 3 battles, then we want to disown you tonight. Maybe we think you are subscribing to the other gender. You know, when I use the other gender, you know what I mean. The other what? We fight to lead. We fight to own land and make a home. A place that shall be called after our name. And then lastly, we fight because we want to leave an offspring. We want to leave a child. You know, my dad left me and I was able to locate his whereabouts after 20 years. I was 8. He left me when I was 8, around there making 9. And I have a brother here who joined me as I welcomed him because we had a very big function. After 20 years, and one thing he told me, I thank God I gave birth to you. Imagine he didn't. You get it? Imagine he didn't. So that means he fought a war for men, having someone. Then another war for men, having somewhere to base your zone, and then fight on and become a leader. And let me tell you something. Every time you meet a man who says, I am not interested in politics, I don't care, you start doubting their integrity. I don't believe you can be a man and you're completely not interested in what happens with, 37th Guild government. You want to know who the Guild president is, who is next, and, you really feel interested. It's within. Sometimes you know what happens. Yesterday Chagrani was around, okay, what happened? Oh, wow, you're discussing. It is okay, very healthy and expected of men. But if you start discussions of, how can that guy put on that suit? Now those discussions are for? I didn't say. I didn't say that. Yes, because the power of the man does not lie in the quality of the necktie, but net worth. You got that right. You see? So that means men don't care. You will come in a conference with sandals and, and people will listen because you are heavy. Right? Maybe the other gender, we try to find some nice heels. You get it? Maybe a nicer dress, Maybe. Because maybe that is also what subscribes to their attitudes and mindsets. But then we need to differ. We need to differ. I would like to share zones where men are lagging behind. The first zone, go to your church. My brother here subscribes to different choirs. My brother Innocent. I don't know how many men choose to sing in church. You will find 12 ladies with only 2 men. Another observation, you move and go to churches and go to Fathers Union, then Mothers Union. Most churches have a very successful institution in Mothers Union. But Fathers Union, there is a time I subscribed to St. Peter Kakoba, and one guy stood up and said, but the meetings for Fathers Union should be at midnight. We all looked at him. So that he was putting a proposal that meetings for Fathers Union should always start at. That's only when you can have men. So it's a struggling faction in church. But ladies, let me tell you, they are very strong there. Very strong. Actually, if you have to attack, it is very hard for you to attack ladies under their umbrella. Mothers Union, because they are very strong. Let me tell you something. As Innocent finds a verse, Satan tried so much to dismantle our cohesion as men. Every space where men sit, Satan understands that there is something mighty that can come out. So he tries so much to dismantle the bond, to dismantle because he wants everyone to, you go to room A, this one is in room 3, this one is in room 4. That's what Satan wants. Why? Because he knows what we can do when we are together. He knows what we can do when we are together. So every platform that brings men together, there are forces fighting it. When 2, 4, 5, 6 brothers meet and choose to maybe initiate an association and chase a certain agenda, the next day you will hear that Ronald has dropped off the list. He has his political reasons. Why? Because his voices are suppressed, he's not allowed to speak. Then next day, innocent is not part of the group. That is Satan trying, because he has seen what can come out of the unity. So he tries so much to dismantle. Now, men for men, men lifting other men. We all have our border guys. What has your border guy told you? Maybe who owns Easyview? According to your border guy, who owns Easyview? Who owns Easyview? I mean, according to your border guy. Museveni's son. Okay, so according to your border guy, who owns Portville? Is it Portville or Portville? I hope it depends on the hate of your teacher. Is it Portville or Portville? It depends on the height of the what? So who owns Portville? Hey, the Boda guy says Ramarama. Okay, so who owns GBK? That is according to your Boda guy. Boda guy also says Ramarama. Because I know they are strongest sources of information. But let me tell you something. We all have X handles, do we? Who owns Twitter? That X. Elon Musk. By the way, who owns Tesla? Can I tell you something? That Elon Musk owns only 13% of the shares. 13. Yes, he owns a certain percentage. Let me shock you. Who owns Microsoft? Not according to your border guy now. According to your internet, maybe. Who owns Microsoft? Bill Gates. Do you know Bill Gates owns 1% of Microsoft? The power of men lifting other men. That no businessman owns 100% of the estates and empires they are attached to. To reach where they are, they were able to outsource other potential men to work with them. One person who visited Africa first killed that culture of collaboration, partnerships. He made me see innocent as a potential threat. He made me see innocent as a potential threat. When innocent brings a proposal and asks me to work with him, every time I go on bed, I am thinking, he wants to capitalize on my fame to reach his destination. I think from his discussion, you have to now think nothing will work for your good. And we have in a certain country, 3 categories, and said we have an idiot. And an idiot is not an insult according to him, because he said an idiot is that one who says me, myself, and I. That for him, he views the world from his point of position. Like he believes he's the only valuable person in the world. For everything to be credible, it must be working for his good. The second category, he said, then other categories are tribesmen. That for him, everything, even when he sees a nice car on the road, he asks, is this for Muganda or a Munyankole? If it is for a Munyankole and he's a Munyankole, he's very happy. Then the third category, a citizen. that a citizen will always care about social aspects in life, whether it is a neighbor, whether it is the welfare of the orphans in Isinjiro, whether he feels concerned. And he says those are citizens. Now, men entirely to 80%, we think having a skyscraper in town here, we've got to work within the mandates of our own finances. The confidence of visiting Mark for partnership is nowhere. It is mine. Someone struggles with a house 10 years. Even when you come with funds and they say, I would like to maybe have some shares, we finish off this house and I have this door, and and he says, no, even if I take 20 years, at least it has to be mine. It has to be, as long as no change. They feel it must be mine. That is when they become happy. But I want to challenge you tonight. When we say power of men lifting other men, we are discussing the power of brocode. You've heard of the brocode? Yeah, mwana ya chigamba. The power of brocode. We discuss the power of collaboration. We discuss the power of partnerships. We discuss the power of association. You see, when they say iron sharpens iron. I don't drink beer. And I belong to the family of Rotary. Really. Very good. Very good. So, they always attack me. You are missing on very constructive ideas because every time you finish the fellowship, you go. I was like, but there is what we call chimeza, where men sit and discuss ideas. So you see now, Minute Maid on chimeza, you choose to leave. Then other men say, you are missing on very constructive ideas. Do you know what is always on chimeza? Why? Just get a bottle of beer, take it, sit. But you know what they're always telling me? You cannot just be alone, just be there, and maybe choose to feel like you can be uplifted. There is a very, it's not a real story. I don't believe it is fictitious in the nature of two brothers. You might have heard about this story. Two brothers. One brother, unfortunately, was amputated, so he didn't have, he had only one hand. And another brother was, everything was, okay with the whole vibe, had energy and could do literally anything. So one day in a certain society, a king announced he had a river, the river had very many crocodiles. So there was an announcement, a competition. Whoever crosses over will receive, and it was life-changing amount of money. So two brothers stood. One brother who didn't have the other arm wanted to participate. But definitely, if you're a swimmer, you get energy from your what? From your hand. So if you're one-handed, surely I don't believe you can. But there was this brother who was energetic, having everything, but not willing to partake of the challenge. So this brother went to him and said, Marvin, you can do this. I would have gone to compete, but look, I am incapacitated. But Marvin definitely didn't want to participate. It was a very risky venture. Crocodiles and very hungry. So what did the brother do? The brother simply gave a push. Yes. The brother whose hand was amputated pushed Marvin. Marvin fell into the river. And fought for his life. And guess what? The guy crossed over. And everyone was clapping, congratulations, the guy won them money to change their lives. And the guy came out and he was very furious, wanted to fight the brother who pushed him. Who pushed me? He said, but you've won money. I mean, who pushed me? And the brother came and whispered, I am sorry. Don't let the world know that it is me who pushed you. Yes, indeed it is me. Marvin, we needed this money. How many times have we thought of pushing our brothers because we see they have the potential that we don't have? How many times do we land on a life-changing deal and we think of Innocent because he's maybe a PhD candidate? Maybe this is exactly what befits his career. Because I cannot do it, but I have my brother B who can do it. But you see, we do not have the guts of saying, go and sit here. You know? So, Satan, I want, Innocent, I want you to try out and find a biblical reference for this. Satan tries so much to dismantle men who are seated together because he knows what they can do. Gents in the house tonight, our power lies in togetherness. Our power resides in togetherness. That bro code. If you cannot eat A, kindly do something. If you cannot do this, call on a colleague. That is partnership. When we stand together, when we work together, when we partake on challenges together, when I have, I'm from a family of 21. Yes, 21 kids. And I also have my uncle. My uncle has 4 boys. So these guys have put up a challenge. It is hard for one individual maybe to buy a plot of 50M, right? So, because there were 5, said each one of you bring 10. Go and buy this piece of land and own it as 5 brothers. They successfully did that. Now they are constructing a wonderful structure. And every step they divide by 5. Bring this, bring this, bring this. In the near future, I hope they are telling me in just 1 year, they will be having an estate, they will be having an empire in Mbarara City owned by 5. Power of collaboration. 5 brothers. Now, I coped and tried to paste in my family of 21 with 3 moms. Yes, I have a very beautiful family of 3 moms. And we are 21. So we are 7 boys. Very powerful. So I tried to sell the same idea. Got something here and said, now, I think only 4M each. I won't share what I made. Just because I was drawing an example from our cousins. You see? Let me tell you something. We are seated alone. But I want us to know that we've got to sacrifice our ego and allow to work with others. If we don't sacrifice our ego and we want to be me, Chris, this should be mine, we are not taking a step to fight the 3 battles I talked about. Because the price of progress is pain. The P of P is P. The price of progress is pain. we've got to accept to undergo painful sharpenings as men. We've got to accept and subdue ourselves under great pressure, tension, stress. It is okay. Every time you're comfortable, put a question mark. Why am I comfortable? A man loves violence. Anyway, don't misunderstand that. But put yourself in a condition where you must be challenged. The reason I love Robin Sharma in his book, World Changes Manifesto, he says, today I declare that I'm surrounding myself with the people who are smarter, faster, stronger, and better than me. So I'll be uplifted by their models and inspired by their examples. That's a very powerful declaration of, if I choose to partner with, I am happy. He is smarter, he is faster, he is stronger, and he is better than me. So it's where I deserve to be. So I'll be inspired by his examples. I will undergo painful sharpenings. And at the end of the day, even after university, I will be, yes. Recently we had a debate at Makerere. And the students were asking, why do employers ask for 5 years experience when we've just graduated? And, it was funny. One professor, you might have heard of a political analyst, Professor Mwebesa, stood up and said, there are fresh graduates who already have 5 years of experience. What are you doing at 25? You are still writing student. Every time the form asks occupation student. And you're very happy. And you think you will acquire favor, occupation student. It's like, so what do I put on occupation? Where are you? I'm at MAST. Which program? Student. And you're very happy. Let me tell you something. There are guys at 25, they are already businessmen. Am I speaking sense? But your mind tells you, you are a student. No. There are guys who are university students, but already celebrated businessmen, even when they started with cons in lecture rooms. So when you challenge them with experience in business, they will tell you 10 years. And you look, when did you graduate? And you wonder, but this guy started very long time ago to do exactly what he's doing. Do you have guys who do mobile money in your class? The guy tells you, you want airtime? There are guys at Makerere, they sell Wi-Fi, guys are very innovative. Like you subscribe, you get to Wi-Fi, and then you meet something, Samsung. So you tap in Samsung. So Samsung, is this your, say, yeah, you pay money, you log in. Samsung tells you, you pay money and you log in to his Wi-Fi. He's doing business. When you want airtime, there is someone doing mobile money. So this person, if he wants to start up something, maybe agent banking and stuff like that, they will tell him, yes, we agree because you have experience. But you see in Africa, and most probably in our universities around, someone even at 26 still writes student. I'm a student. Where do you think I get the money from? Because I know I'm a student now. At 26. Now, let's leave that for the other. The other what? Now, as men, we have the power to join these industries. We have the power to do business. We have the power, if you're a teacher of physics, a student teacher here, you have the power to go and visit Ndare and tell them you can teach physics in senior 5 when you're a student at MAST. You have that power because you know. You get it? Yes, you already know what to teach, by the way. You already know what to teach those guys. You're only here to learn how to teach. Yes, to undergo certain disciplines, to learn how to. But you already know, you call it what? You already know how to differentiate. Yes, You can integrate. You can, by separation of what? You can do that. You already can make up that. So that tomorrow, you go and speak to someone and say, yes, I'm a fresh graduate, but I have 3 years of teaching experience. How did you do that? Let's not rest. You get it? Let's disturb ourselves. Where the sea is so calm, let's create turbulences. Let's be very uncomfortable wherever we are. We challenge ourselves. And definitely, when we all meet on top, which song shall we sing? I was born to be the best, number one, and nothing less. Leave me to my destiny. I've waited patiently. I have vision, oh, I believe. I can always count on me. Woo! Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champion, for the champion. Stand up, woo, woo, stand up, woo, woo, for the champion, for the champion. Thank you so much. Thank you, I'm done.
You exceeded the limited time, you exceeded by 2 minutes, but in your self-dedicated time, you exceeded by 12. How are you going to go? Not bad.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Crispus, for those words. I actually pity those who didn't turn up, the men who are in their single rooms sleeping or doing some other things else. I actually pity them. Yes? One professor in my faculty once said, if you don't remain confused in his lecture, then you have not paid attention. I think if you're not confused, I don't mean the confusion, but if you're not confused, then you have not been paying attention. Thank you. I've learned that your network is your net worth, and the papers that we have given unto you, keep writing questions, keep noting questions for our dear panelists. We shall collect them at once, then they will answer them at once. I just know, ladies and gentlemen, we're not just attendees, but we're going to be game changers from today and onwards. That's why I said I even pity those who didn't turn up for today. We are running after time, but it's me, we have tried our level best to keep time to make sure that we end in the time that we had put on our program, that is 9 p.m. Trust me, we shall. Ladies and gentlemen, just like I told you, today we are igniting the genius within our souls. And the next speaker, I even don't think I'm worthy to usher him to the podium. But nevertheless, I've been granted opportunity to be one of the masters of ceremonies of today. Once again, I'm Mr. Agri, student of electrical engineering. I come from Kasese, and I'm proud of coming from the slopes of Mount Rwenzori. Yes. The next guest speaker, I don't feel I'm even worthy, but anyway, a social scientist. He studied international relations, and he's a psychologist. But passionate to generate knowledge and to generate a society that breeds knowledge. The one I'm introducing, he was PRO, that is Public Relations Officer of MAST in 2011. He's a public speaker. We have seen him on several occasions. He has been a Master of Ceremonies on several events of MAST. When we host the president a few years back, he was the MC. And actually in the Vice Chancellor's Conference, he was the MC. The man I'm introducing is the Senior Administrator at MAST, and actually is the chairperson of the MAST Administration Forum. The man I'm introducing is a faculty administrator of the mighty faculty that is located in the main campus of MAST, that is FAST and Faculty of Applied Sciences and Technology. He owns the office I've just said, that is ever open whenever he's there. He doesn't need someone to knock, just a matter of entering. He doesn't like titles. He says Mr. is enough for him. Very ethical, and actually my ethics that I'm pursuing, if I can say, I learned them from him. He teaches administrative skills even when you're a student, and he's passionate about giving that knowledge he has to students. The one I'm introducing is none other than Mr. Dennis Thomas Lukaya. A round of applause for Mr. Dennis Lukaya as he takes his path to the podium. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sinja Agre. Good evening to you, comrades, friends, colleagues, and fellow citizens. To the ladies here, thank you for being people of wisdom and strength. Our 37th Guild President, Guild Minister for Gender, thank you for the invitation and thank you for keeping the tradition. You have brought men together. I don't know how much time I have. I would want to ascertain that so that I know what to say. Asinja, how much time? Don't worry, just tell me what the time is. Oh, okay, it's quite a lot, but that's okay. When I received the invitation yesterday, and then the program, and there's a bit of variance, but it's all the same. So, we are here, what they call the Men's Zone Summit. I want to thank you importantly, colleagues that have Arnold and Crispus. Thank you very much. Not Arnold, but Innocent. I liked how you introduced yourself. You said you had been married for 2.5 years. Okay. I don't know how long I have been married, but I know that my wedding day was on the 31st of December 2005. And I remember that I was in primary school at Chitante Primary School in 1982. And my graduation at Makerere was 1999. So I am proud to stand before you to speak of things I have seen, done, and stopped. What we are doing here, essentially, ladies and gentlemen, is something in the totality of it is about masculinity. Who is a man? Ladies and gentlemen, we know who a man is. And we also know that history has over time taught us who is a man. So we have a traditional understanding of who this man is. Like the speakers before me have spoken, power, tough, strong, abusive probably, arrogant, a father, a procreator, a lover of money, a preacher. Many people believe that preachers were men. So all those things are associated with being male. Courage, leadership, and the like. However, ladies and gentlemen, there is a reality we are faced with. There is an evolution. There is a transition. There is a change in who a man is today. You will bear with me that many people are saying, what is wrong with the men of these days? It is something, and I don't know where it comes from. Because men have neither become shorter or fatter. But people are saying, what is wrong with men of these days? I am proud to be under this basement that I first entered in 1996. I visited this particular place in 1996, the first time I entered here. And it was on the second day that my friend, who is now my wife, had just joined the university medical school. Her parents brought her on Saturday in August of 1996, and I left Kampala to come and see where her parents had brought her for school on Sunday. So I know this place because some aspects of my manhood and my life were shaped under this particular roof. So thank you for bringing us where a great life started. So what is this masculinity thing? Associated with male, strength, protection. There is something now we call modern masculinity, that there is a different way it is said men should be. But they are not being so. The young ladies like to say that they don't know whom they will marry. They don't even see them. But we are together and we see ourselves. So this thing of manhood that combines strength with empathy, is the new thing. That be a man, but also be understanding. That be tough, but also be soft. That walk, but also don't run. It is combining strength with empathy, leadership with humility. You are the leader. These days, you find many statements. Don't you know I am the head of this family? Don't you know I am the president? Don't you know I am the dome captain? Don't you know I am the class president? Why are you speaking when I am speaking? Confidence with respect. Is it there? Confidence with respect. I am confident, but I will also respect all those near me, all those who come close to me. So this new thing called masculinity, it values a thing called emotional intelligence. That, are you thinking about what you are thinking of doing? That I am a man, I want to go and watch football, and the match is at 11 p.m. And you tell your wife, I am going out to watch football. After you have subscribed for the same football in your home, all on your radio. How do you think your partner feels? So you are going out for the match at 11. That means you'll probably return in the morning, the following day, all in the wee hours. But where are you going? You are going to the club, to the bar, to the joint. And who are you likely to find there? Probably other husbands, other wives, other singles, and other poachers. This new masculinity is calling us to talk about service to others. Is it possible that we now say, my family? I am working for my family. All, I am working for my people. And who are your people? Is it your wife and children, if you have? Is it your mother and father? Who are your people? Then we blend it with a thing called female empowerment. This process of giving women equal opportunities, confidence, resources, to make decisions so that they can also effectively contribute to society in their various fields. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the crack of the matter we have to discuss here. That people have been saying women empowerment, that power to the women, power to the women. Does that mean remove power from men, remove power from men? Are we suffering from a process of osmosis, from a region of plenty to a region of less, and now people are saying that the power of the men has been taken. Is that why we have so many products, kombucha, kumpocha, pimpocha, gumbucha, chairman? Why are they coming at this time? And when they market them, they tend to market them using men. Is it possible that something supernatural has happened in the world? That the things they used to call for men, now men are begging for them. There are 3 key lessons. The fact is, masculinity is evolving. There is no woman now who is going to say that my husband can beat me and force me to cook food. These things are real. Young people, you are planning on getting married. We welcome you. And you must. Because it is a social requirement in many cultures. So what is happening today? There is a lot of shift in power, a lot of shift in control. There's a lot of purpose that is required. What is the purpose of people? There are issues of integrity and emotional balance that we need to learn. That is it okay for me to accept that my wife is of a higher social status than me, her husband? Is it even conceivable? Do you believe it? Is it true that Uganda discovered oil? Is it true that Uganda has oil? It is a lie. When we hear of countries that have discovered oil, what comes to our mind? Money, bunda, kwacha. That thing. But we have over time accepted that Uganda has oil. And they tell us some people see it. The students at Chihumuro have a program called Petroleum Engineering and Environment. They go to Telenga, they go everywhere to Ulisa, and they tell us that there is oil. That is the dilemma we are facing today. That things are, they tell us that things are changing. That we have to learn how to accept some of these things. It is true that we now have empowered women, not necessarily because they have been empowering them, but there is something falling onto us. These days, people don't want to say, this is my wife. Somebody says, this is my partner. When you find an empowered woman, she's going to say things that may shock you in public. But I want to tell you today, accept them the way we have accepted that Uganda has oil. A powerful woman will not say that I am here with my husband. They are likely to say, I am here with the father of my children. Or I am here with my partner. Okay? Yes. Okay? And basically, you know, and this I'm saying when they are at official functions. Okay? I would like to recognize the presence of my partner, the presence of the father of my children. The old man wants to hear, the traditional man wants to say, I am here with my husband. So that when he stands up, everybody can see that he is the duty master over this woman. But that is now changing. If we don't accept to evolve, we are going to have a lot of stress. That Innocent spoke about. You see someone there going to a function and he's so gloomy simply because of a word called husband and partner. But these are simple English words we found in dictionaries. Okay? The point is that the modern world is separating home and work spaces and public. Okay? The woman is most likely to address you as a husband if people come to visit you at home. Then if you are a man, that the lecturer said that if you don't get confused, when you get confused in your home, that who am I? Okay? You will start saying, who am I? Then you will say, since the house help at home calls you daddy, you then realize that the one who calls you daddy seems to have more gravitas, is more acceptable, understands you better. So you switch a production line. Okay? Some homes have broken on the simple basis of words. Perception. Gone in the past would a woman speak in public, but how would she have that high office? There was a deliberate effort that power was held by men. Now, that is where it was. Can you imagine 10 years from now what the situation will be when you are arriving there? So empowered women must be seen as partners and not threats. Even here, you will find that it is possible you have more female students giving pocket money to boys. Or you see a situation, for example, the guild minister is feeding us, all of us as men. Do we say that we don't accept the food? Why did we come here? I am sure there are people who didn't come here because the invitation was by the minister, even in this room. Some are even saying, let me go and check if she will achieve. Okay? For me, I wouldn't have come if the minister was male, because I don't think I would have come. Okay? Because I would easily go into a stereotype. This guy is unserious. He thinks he can just call me at any time. Comes and say, come. But I can imagine the logistical nightmare the minister has in reaching all men to come to an activity she's organizing. Therefore, we must be the partners. We must not see it as a threat. Okay? That we must be collaborators. And that we must grow together. But to grow together, we must have mutual respect. That if the woman is in charge, that is the reality. She is in charge. And once you refuse to accept, you will suffer innumerable psychological pain. And society tends to move on. People say, that man has changed these days. Then you choose not to return home. Then you say, they may poison me. So you start eating from outside. And you know, society can choose to allow you be what you want to be. There is a very little threshold these days of community support. Okay? So, what do we need to do? What can men do? Men must retain their strength, and this strength is only through self-mastery. Okay? You must have discipline. You must have faith, as spoken about, and you must have hope. No one is determined to finish you as a man. The reality is that things have changed. The shoe that was on the left is now worn on the right. You either choose to see it so, or you choose to see it as a crossed shoe. But it is not a crossed shoe. The thing is what it is. Is it possible that when shoes were invented and the left is on the right and the right on the left, wouldn't we still be doing that? Okay? That is a very important thing. So what should men do? You must find your purpose. You must define what drives you. Are you interested in academics, in spirituality, or professionalism? Your purpose will give you direction. Instead of saying, I am the man, these days they undermine me, they don't listen to me. Can you imagine, I found when they had bought a new TV at home. What is the problem with having a new TV? Because of who has bought the TV. Okay? There are issues you can discuss there. Cultivate emotional intelligence. Learn how to express yourself, comrades. Don't always rush to respond. Always listen to understand before you respond. It is cheaper to respond in terms of understanding. But the moment you want to say that how, when, where, then the old man comes out, you will see me. Take that TV out. It will not be in my house. They may remind you that how much money did you put on building the house? They may remind you how much rent do you pay for this home. They may remind you that what happens, where does the food you eat every day come from? They may ask you, show us your pay slip. Do not attack where you may have no answer. You listen actively to understand and not to react. The speakers before me have said, you seek help when this thing becomes too heavy for you. You seek help. Go and ask those friends of yours that, man, me, I am in trouble. This weakness, the vulnerability, is not, see it as wisdom. That I am able to remain focused in a challenging time as a man. You need to lead through service. Be a man who uplifts others. It has been said. Don't spend more time. For example, if you have a problem, don't get out of the problem by putting somebody in a problem. No. It's because my wife decided to take the car. That's why I was unable to go to place X. Why don't you say, I'm sorry, I am late. I had to take a taxi. All my taxi was delayed. Why do you tarnish your partner's name? Simply because you are trying to excuse yourself. Power. But she took the car because she's the one who puts fuel, probably. Huh? So what challenges are young men facing today? Identity confusion. Ladies and gentlemen, ensure you have self-control so that you have self-discipline. There are things which are not worth going for. Remain with your self-control. Should I fight for my manhood? Or should I control myself to live another day? What are your expectations in a changing world? Look at the economic pressures young people are facing today. Everybody is liking something even when they don't need it. It is a season of liking, young people liking. Somebody will bring a new type of a shirt and everybody must have that shirt. You look at, come to church at university chapels and you see the clothes are the same. The clothes are the same. If it is a trouser, its height, length, and width is the same. 2 pockets at the back. You can clearly see that this community, everybody has the same thing. We are living, unfortunately, in a community of conformity, and it is called groupthink. You go and read about that principle in decision-making. Groupthink. G-R-O-U-P-T-H-I-N-K, groupthink, where people believe that we are safer being okay and happy and not using our critical thinking to do things. If it is a committee of people, people prefer to remain harmonious, okay? People are failing, young men today are failing to have values or things they stand for. You fear failure. You fear to fail. You believe that there is a standard. Nobody is challenging a standard. If everybody is doing that thing, me, I won't do it because I don't believe in it. Okay? But if we don't get the courage to say, I am who I am, not the one who is above, but I am who I am, okay? We need to ask ourselves every time we are trying to make decisions, 3 fundamental questions. Question number 1 is, who am I? Who am I? Okay? Know yourself, who am I? And after you have known who you are, that helps you know your purpose. Understand yourself and know that the decision I am going to take must reflect who I am, based on values and systems and interests. Then, what do you want? What do you want? There must be something that you stand for. That social thing in society. You want to be a father, you want to be a son, you want to be a chief, you want to be a driver, you want to be something. Then after you have known what you want to be, then the point is, where are you going with that thing? So if you choose to marry your partner and in the process things change, the roles are now changing, you remember that you must have entered there with your values. Why are you seeing yourself in the eyes of others? That I am not in sync, I am not in vogue. They say I have no vibe. You are struggling with your things. Why are we struggling today to be great? Is it possible that we can say, I don't care, instead of saying, I pretend? Is it better to say, I better pretend to be well with people, or I don't care, I don't believe in that? What is the dynamics of relationships for young people today? How are you able to adapt to empowered women, men? How are you able to adapt? How have you prepared? You must learn how to behave like those who love coffee. I smell the coffee. When you smell it, you do what? You look for. Just learn how to adapt. The speakers have spoken about this thing we call digital influence. The impatience for something. The traditional man would go and say, I am leaving my village and going to the city to work. I will come back after 1 year or something. And the purpose was to probably go and buy a bed, a family bicycle. For us, what do we work for? As men, what do we work for? When we look at how we appear in public and what we actually own, there is a big variance. Because we fear people to talk about us. Not that appear improperly. Build even your own dress code. Personally, I am not a believer in conformity, and I am always in conflict with the law. Because I can't go to a meeting and people tell lies, and I keep quiet. You rather chase me away from the meeting. Because how the truth must still matter, gentlemen. The truth must still matter. What is it that we look for in this world? How long are we in this world? Does it matter whether people are speaking the truth? How are young men going to survive in this difficult environment when we have no truth? We must accept, and the truth is, the environment is changing. We must recognize female empowerment is not male disempowerment. No. No, no. Is it possible that the ones who come later become stronger? Is it why God created the man first? Because he knew you'll get tired quickly. So he created the woman later so that the woman can complete the journey of transformation of humanity. Maybe we are fighting a biblical thing. That God is doing his own things. God knows exactly what is happening to us. We must have faith, comrades. We must choose to partner and balance. They say balance the boat. If you don't, it will sink. We must look for mutual respect. We must be self-aware. Accept that things are difficult. Allow me, as I conclude, to be able to pick one particular word that I would like to use as a summary. The Baganda people, my kinsmen, have a word called kwekuniza or kwekuniza. You know? Or kwekuniza. Okay? This word is a word intended to say that something is a camouflage, that the thing is not real, that the thing is different. What you see is not what it is. Comrades, how many of you still have anything original on you? Who is original here? That as you see me is the way I am. Men are struggling with the false image or persona. They are living in the shadow, you know, presenting a completely different identity. Why? Because there is this thing called empowerment of women. We are struggling to find our footing. Men should behave like the leopards. Their spots don't change. They simply manage in the process. Okay? What is the best presentation of a human being? If someone came to visit you, how do you present yourself? You bring out every nice thing. But let us put ourselves to public scrutiny. Where you live in the community and you receive a visitor, would you want that visitor to talk to your neighbor? You have lived in places where neighbors fight. Somebody's child does something and this one does this something. This one cooks meat and then you hear the people shouting, your things are smelling for us. They have one hang line. If it crosses into one side, they will throw the clothes away. It's impossible. And these are the lives we are living. We are living lives where the next neighbor is your arch enemy. What is it that is troubling us? And this is what we have translated into our homes. That the man will walk out with his wife, but I'm telling you the beef which is between there can even generate kilowatts of energy. But you chose your partner. You see? What is explaining the high rate of divorce and separation and breakups even at university? One young man may, on average, is said to have about 8 partners in the 4 years of his study. It is worse if you are in medical school. And never leave campus without mending those relationships. Because if you go out after you've broken someone's heart, there is a tendency, and you see, we need to tell the young ladies as well, don't see me for my poverty today and think that is my definition. When I come to you, and I open my heart out to you that I love you, I mean, there is intention. Okay? If you are chasing me, chase me with kindness. At least kiss me so that I walk away. Okay? Even if it is at night when no one is seeing. Because the relationship is between two people, not the public. Okay? Equally, young men, you see a lady, you say, this is a village girl, man. This man just see her shoe. Man. That village belle is likely to be the ultimate mother of your children. And she might be lucky to actually get the best job in the region. And she's the alpha and omega, the owner of physical money. Then you start saying, Munang used to be my girlfriend. And remember that in the future, people don't have a record of what she used to look like. They have told you grooming. Earn yourself a perfume. Own it. Let it be a prized commodity. Don't go around smelling. That, me, I don't use perfume. Me, I'm okay. It irritates me. Then use lemon. Increase the number of baths that you take a day. But I'm telling you, the lack of self-consciousness is what is bringing things asunder. And at times, if we don't learn these things, we take them into marriages. You go there for you don't like to bathe. When they tell you to bathe, you start quarreling. You say they're interfering with your inherent right. Okay? To remain unclean. Okay? You need to learn how to talk to people. I want to encourage you, if you are a man, everybody get your mugezi, get your mentor, get your friend, that you can tell something. Someone with whom you are not ashamed to say stuff. Be that person. Be available to be that person. And when a friend confides in you, it is important that you keep their story. It is important. The sense of integrity is key. That is where we start seeing integrity. Can I tell you my thing, however dirty it is? Remove the emotion from it. Remove the ungodly things, but I am opening up. Your advice must include asking me to go to Innocent's church. To say, God, I am a sinner. But there must be trust between men. If this trust is not there, this man will have his friends when he's getting married. The wife will know them. Then eventually the wife starts telling the friends the problems in the home. Then eventually one friend who is smart says, me, I can help you where your husband is not helping you. The next thing is that the children in the home look like the friend. They have ears of the friend. And then this one also says, let me cross to your family. So you can imagine the kind of children who are floating around, that their parenthood is mixed. They are like a Venn diagram. In the center, you cannot tell. The intersection is really very mixed. Do you believe that you will ever have your own children? Will your children be yours? Will your children be yours? You might have a generation that spends more time exhuming bodies to be reburied properly. Your generation is at the time of real DNA. We must be able to trust each other. Finally, let us learn how to speak well. Let us stop giving orders. Let us learn how to communicate. If you go to a home and a visitor comes and a father says, bring tea for the visitor, bring water, bring juice, then the people can come back and say there is nothing. Is it difficult for you as a man to stand up as if you are going somewhere and you first consult? Because you clearly know you left nothing. Do you see how you can cause problem? Then the child comes and tells you, but daddy, you know we told you that there was no sugar. Then this visitor is watching your family drama as if it is pearl magic. Okay? Let us learn how to communicate. Let us remain original men. Let us see that God can do wonders. And how are we as men going to make it in our families? The first priority, after you have sorted out the issues of faith with your God, is endeavor to keep peace. Endeavor to keep peace. Peace is a deliberate thing that we must keep. Why would you want to quarrel about everything? What if you postponed the quarrel? What if you slept over the quarrel? There is a thing called microaggressors. Statements we make thinking we are joking. I want to encourage men, stop making certain statements you think are okay. Look at, you guy, you are very fat. You guy, your shirt is really, you've really worn it, man. It is really tired. You even say it in a joking way. People may laugh, but you are cutting bridges. Okay? Man, your shoe. Great. Didn't we buy those shoes 3 years ago? You are good at keeping. Man, I saw your wife. The way your wife was talking to this other guy, and you know that these people at school had a history. Why are you bringing back things that you should live in peace? You are not God to resurrect things. Let us be cautious of every word we say. How do we say thank you to a partner who has achieved? How do we say thank you to a partner who is successful? How do we support a partner? What level of sacrifice are you willing to carry for the greater good of your family? My own history is that if your wife is prosperous, she will grow the family. Your duty is to ensure there is peace. Even when they bring something, force yourself to say thank you. Don't say it is good. Say wonderful, very nice. I actually like it. You know, the other day I saw it. Things will double. Okay? It is a reality as men that women should start giving us money for kameza. But our kameza is not for the home. It is for us to be able to walk safely amongst ourselves. Okay? If your wife can give you pocket money, kneel down every day 3 times and say, God, this Ochinkole day. Because at the end of the day, what diminishes your manhood? That your relatives are talking. Have you ever seen relatives who refuse property bought by the wife as a donation to them? Do they refuse it? No. That is what society has given us. Because what is happening? Why are women seemingly? Somebody will tell you that Count 100 cars on the road. Just go to the road here in the morning. Count 100. And of those 100, keep doing tallies of gender. Chances are that there might be more women driving what? Cars than men today. In the past, there would never be a woman who drives a car. It would be an abnormality. But what has happened? So why would you feel so bad that you are, even in terms of leadership, institutions that are female-headed, decisions are very difficult to arrive at. There are always things. And men have learned how to conspire to bring down women. But we are losing probably God's favor for ourselves. I want to thank you for the invitation. I want to thank the ministry and say that dating a modern woman must now not be a hassle. Use military precision. You see the signs and behave. The more you say you will not toe the line, comrades, for me, I'm not going to sugarcoat. The thing is real. Once the woman has the pass, that is what it is. When you fight, they resist and they react. Therefore, there is conflict in a home. And when there is conflict in a home, let me tell you, there is no progress. Go to homes where there is a lot of assumed wealth, but there is stagnation. There is stagnation because we are fighting resources. Have you seen a home where parents fight to pay tuition? The lady might plan to have her money earlier than the man. Then when the woman pays, the man says, I will not even do the shopping now. And usually if you find a strong woman, she doesn't even answer you. You even discover she does more shopping than you actually can do. Then you make a mistake as a man. You allow the children to see that you're actually not helping. It is also okay for a man to be available at home, even when your wife goes, because the power to children is presence of a parent. That cost is enormous. A father who is present in the lives of the children. You are then creating a confident child, a child that has safety, a child that has belief. Why are we struggling with lots of mental illnesses? It is simple because the parents are absent from the lives of their children. As young people, you are making so many of your own decisions without interceding and blessings from your parents. A child who does not get a blessing of a father, in particular, or of parents, cannot be a formidable person in the future. And the blessing of a parent does not consider the material wealth of a parent. There are parents who may not give you inheritance in terms of property, but they will give you inheritance in terms of values, in terms of wisdom, in terms of being present, in terms of believing in you, in terms of a good name they have left in society. Do we care about our names? Or we believe in fighting to tell people we are men? What if one day a disease comes? Did you see this disease called what? Mpox. Mpox. Eh? If it touched a penis of a man, no woman will want to touch it again because it becomes like a cassava stick. You've seen a cassava stick? Stem. I was in a cassava. The stem. The good one. And when you get one from Gulu, where there's good soil for cassava, The things are big like this, I'm telling you. There is nowhere they can touch, I'm telling you. It can't enter anywhere. What if all men got mpox and we are unable to service our women? Shall we say that we are not men? We will find other ways of servicing them. Fingers, what. Because you must mutate, you must evolve. Let us accept as young men that if you choose a partner, love them, respect them, and treat them with empathy. Be kind, okay? See them as people you need to help. And it is natural that however strong a woman is, this is why you start seeing certain situations that are very powerful because of a relationship with a junior, with a what? It's because the men are absent, the men are aggressive. The emotional reality about human beings does come out at one point in time. Men, we are not weak. What is your loss when you have everything, including money, of a Kameza? And those men eventually come to you to borrow money, which your wife has given you. Never lend them. Say, this is my what? My money. Because you keep laughing at me. Life is how you make it. But I want to tell you finally, the reality is there is a big challenge in how young men are going to manage women as you grow up. If you come as if you are the old traditional man, yours is Butabika, yours is psychiatry ward, yours is a limbo or a graveyard. I thank you very much. I want to let you know there is a book that I am reading now. It's a very interesting book from an entrepreneur, Mutasa Kafero, the owner of Hotel Triangle. He writes a book that traces his history. And in this book, he shows you his life's journey. He talks about all his many children as a Muslim man. He talks about his ancestry. But what is critical in this book is that he remains humble. He remains humble. If you have seen or heard about this man, he is the first man that built a mall in Kampala, Mutasa Kafero Plaza. And a university gave him an award for his ingenuity, his ability to have thought that you can create a one building with very many shops, with everybody having an equal chance to sell. Okay? This book is a very interesting book that young men should be able to read. That your destiny is about self-discipline. He starts off by selling bananas to Kenya. Bananas. Taking Bogoya. Today, his wealth is innumerable, but his modesty is what is eye-catching. The humility with which that wealth has not made him a bad-mannered person. He returns to his wife. He goes home. And when the wife says no, he says it is okay. A rich man can tell you, I'm sorry, I cannot come out now. My wife has said we have another meeting. How many of us have this humility? Look for this book. But the most interesting thing is his life's history. Rich legacy, but an extremely modest person. Let our success not eat us. If your wife is successful, grow the success, because at the end of the day, her success is an endurement of many things, but also a benefit to your children if you procreate, and for generations to to come. Let us remain resilient as men. Let us not see our weaknesses. The strength of women must never be seen as an attack on our integrity. If it is your manhood, do you think that if a woman is rich, she cannot produce? If a woman is poor, can she produce? Then what is the difference? Is your wife loved when she's rich or when she's poor? Or is there a diminished, your manhood diminishes with when she becomes richer than you are? No. The reality is here. Let us live in peace with our partners, support one another, and enjoy life, because we'll be recalled to the Maker. And none of us knows what will happen when we meet our Maker. Let us not atone for sins we could have avoided. God bless you. Succeed we must.
Thank you, Mr. Dennis, for those wonderful and encouraging words to the men, the young youth. Just like I told you today, you are attendees. You're not just attendees, but you're going to be game changers after this. I've learned several things, at least just me, with kindness. This goes to ladies out there. Actually, we are live streamed with Kreative Media. The link is in different groups. I know that the ladies out there are watching us, and at least just us with kindness. Then, who are you? Who am I? In my local language, that is Lukonjo, we have a saying. I'm going to paraphrase it in English. That says, a word of an old person is like roasted meat. You wake up every morning, you buy it, and every other morning you buy it. Yeah, it summarizes a phrase that we say in English, that one word for wise man is enough. We are going into the Q&A session, and it's going to be handled by my co-MC as he steps forward. I'll be collecting for him the papers, and then as he handles it, as he comes, there's one quote. It's a tweet of one of our panelists here. I won't be open on whose account it was, but I liked it. It says, even the less informed have a right to the microphone. You have a right to pick it and spit out whatever you want, just because democracy exists. One of our panelists in front here wrote such a quote on his ex. I just liked it. Exactly. You can now guess the panelist. Let's have.
Thank you so much, Mr. Asinja Agri, my co-MC. And thank you so much to our panelists. Maybe to also break down of what I've gotten out of the speech from Mr. Dennis Lukaya. I got in two things, that is adaptability and presence as men. In adaptability, that is being able to accept, you get, accepting and also getting ways of how to deal with the new thing that is happening right now, you get, other than fighting it. Then in presence, you are going to agree with me that empowering men is would be very much significant if we, first of all, concentrated on the smallest unit of society, which is the family. You get? That is where everything goes wrong, the family. In this, so in this thing, as I relate it to presence, you are going to see that the ladies have a direct connection with their children or their sons, right away from pregnancy. That connection that they have, that biological connection, giving birth, breastfeeding, all that, you're going to see that ladies have a connection with what? With their sons and daughters. And the only connection women have is supposed to be presence. You get? Is supposed to be presence, of which most of the times it is not what? It is not possible, because we have that ultimate responsibility of what? Fending for the what? You find yourself, or you find most of the times women, we are not available. Yet in most cases, we are the ones that are supposed to, give direction to our sons. So as we are trying to empower ourselves, let us remind ourselves and get to know that it all starts from the what? From the smallest unit of the society, which is the family. Let us, as we go, because we are the would-be potential young fathers, you get, we are the fathers to come. So if we have this in mind, that we have to create time, however busy we are, we have to create time for our sons, so that when they are growing up, they do not face challenges that we did what? We faced. Thank you so much once again, our panelists, and we are going to go into our question and answer session. So we are going to read a few questions here because I'm seeing most of them are similar. I've read through them and most of them are similar. So we are going to go through them very fast. This question is saying, if we are to accept the fact that women are in charge, should men just become submissive to these women? The second question, and where does this leave the masculinity of men? The third question, this is the same person. How does a traditional man survive in present day dating? So they are going to answer at once. Then this one was like, what mindsets can help men bounce back from failure and world pressure inserted on men? And how can friends, workspaces, create safer spaces for men to open up about what they feel in this changing society? Written by Mr. Wright. This one goes specifically to Mr. Lukaya Dennis. In the world of today, where the lady empowered than men, have actually, in the world of today, where the ladies have been empowered than the men has actually made it difficult for men to stay in their owns. This one is not clear. Then another thing, how period of comfortability and that of your rest. More interaction or seeking advice. Is it possible to share your contacts or social media account handles to keep it? And then lastly, this was a comment in form of a question. Why not bring this to Chihumuro people? Chihumuro people, specifically the boys, are behind. Aren't we leaving them behind? On these several events, in brackets, skiing events, everyone asks free transport, free food. That is the question they ask. What's the matter and what's the approach on this? You will answer this. So let me take this opportunity to allow our speakers to answer a few questions, and then we proceed.
This is interesting. Thanks to people that spoke. I was taking notes as you were speaking to us, so I've learned a number of things as well. And thank you for the beautiful questions. It is by asking that we get to learn, and when we learn, we become change agents. As I get to respond to this question, there's a principle that has worked for me over time, and that principle is the principle of intentionality. Like, you have to be intentional in everything that you are doing. And it brings me to this question one: what mindsets can help men bounce back from failure and world pressure inserted on them? Pressure from family, from friends, from colleagues, thinking that probably they are ahead of you, or maybe you're not making it in life, and it's easy to think that you are a failure. However, back to the theme tonight, before you think that you are a failure, where are you heading? If you're going to Kampala, probably, and you have reached Lyantonde, where are you heading? If you're going to Kampala, probably, and you have reached Lyantonde, you are on the way. But if you're going to Kampala and then you are this direction heading to Kagohe and Ushenyi, then you are lost. But if you're also going to Kampala and you don't know the way, if you have reached Lyantonde and then someone tells you, no, you're supposed to head this side of Kampala, and then someone tells you, no, you're supposed to head this side of Kagohe, and then you now turn, and then I just reached Mbad, and no, they tell you have to head Isinjiro, then you don't know your purpose, you don't know your calling. So sometimes we have identified failure when we are actually on the track. We have not yet arrived, have not yet reached, but we are progressing, we are working in progress. We are there, we are moving. If we get to understand our purpose, if we have set the goals, if we know what we want, there are questions that our speaker tonight asked us: who am I? What do I want? Where are you going? What are you going to do with that thing? And what are we working for? Have we asked these questions to ourselves? And then now we can say, I am failing or I am not failing. However, what mindset can help men bounce back? One is understand your purpose. Do not compete, but understand your calling and move towards that. Seek the right mentorship, seek the right people to move a journey with. And then through that, and also, like I had said earlier, evaluate yourself. It will help you to know, here I am failing. Yes, I am failing. Accept that you're failing. And then how best can I get out of this? And then move. Second question: how can friends, workspaces, create safer spaces for men to open up about what they feel in this changing society? Sometimes it is hard, but let me talk about brotherhood. You don't need to, like when you have finished school and you've gone out, sometimes it's even hard to open up to a workmate. But you have a man in your life that you can easily share your life with. Like he said, like you can easily talk. Is it sexual sin? Is it money that you are struggling with? Is it a relationship? Like you can boldly, like you say it the way it is. Allow me say, I have a group of friends. We are 8. Like we are 8. For us, we talk. You see, for now I am speaking to you, you are listening, you might be like, hey, Innocent is good, is okay. But I have a group of friends, when they will reach me and they squeeze me like, Innocent, what you're doing is not right. Like, they will put you down, they will shake you, they will, because they have seen you've done something that probably is not right. And also, of course, I do the same too. I do the same. It is a group of friends that we started after campus, to the point that all of 7 of us are married. One is not yet married, but he will soon. That when you are marrying, we give you 4 cows to start with, like part of dowry, like we are building ourselves together. And so I'll find it easy to go and tell them that, you know what, things are not moving on well here. We don't need to go out and ask for people about things to do with honeymoon and all that. And I already have someone that I can talk to easily. Where you are failing, do you have a man in your life that you can easily share your life with? You know, it is easy for man to mask up and then they think all things are okay. No. But do you have someone you can go and tell them, just openly, that's how things are? That's when we can find the help that we need. As I conclude on these questions, allow me to encourage us to develop a bond. Like he shared, men, let's be men that can be trusted. Them in a testimony somewhere. I should not find them on the streets. I should not find them on status, on maybe on X and everywhere. No. How can you walk a journey with me to support me, to ensure that I get out of the pit that I'm in, I get out of the things that I'm in, and I walk a righteous journey? We can do it. You can get a man.
Verse what a man is, role and responsibility. An empowered woman is not entitled to make you feel that you are now the woman. What we need to do is to have values. You know, for example, we are at campus, okay? How many of you are cohabiting? How many of you are cohabiting? Not that it is, I have no trouble. That's a choice. Okay? Now, when you are cohabiting, then there is one who is not a cohabiter, but is a fetcher. You know a fetcher? Eh? Every night he has a new girl going into his room. He can even move out of the room 3 times in a night. Okay? And his radio has the highest sound ever. Okay? Then you have friends who are triers. You know triers? Eh? I think that chick is very good. Somebody was telling us that she has that thing. Let me also try and see if I can see it or I can feel it. Okay? This is the life you are leading. Can you see how polluted you are? How are you going to go into the home and even be responsible? That's why you will fight. So it's not about submission. The point is, your situation should dictate how you behave. Have values. And let me tell you, as men, we must build the capacity to say enough is enough about something which is not right. What doesn't kill you is not bad. Okay? If your wife, even by nature, is a better leader than you are, see that as an opportunity. Because at the end of the day, the household will never be the household of the woman. It will be a man's household. Your children will carry your name. Okay? When wives begin naming children surnames, then we shall know that things now have changed fundamentally. Where you are the father, and when you go to give the name that is given to the child is the maternal name of your wife, then you know things have changed. There, even me, I have no advice. Now, a degree man, something, let me tell you, PhD and PhD. Do you see how difficult the journey is for someone to read and get their PhD? They probably have not enjoyed any social life. Now, in the past we used to hear that women are educated by men. I married my wife when she had a diploma, but now she has a degree. Okay? What is good for men is also good for women, if you are a good marksman, how do you attract a PhD woman when you have just your certificate? Okay? An educated woman like that is going to be more interested in the values you bring to her. Can you communicate? Are you helpful? Do you mind how you behave? Do you allow her have her space? I'm telling you, if you know that there is a PhD woman you want, you can also come to me, I can guide you, because we don't want to give this information openly. But the truth is, the sky is the limit with love. You can catch anything. But if you go with the bad manners, you are a fetcher, you are what? She's a PhD, you have your diploma, but you are busy on the house girl. Okay? When they go to the village, you are busy with every village person. You will lose out. Okay? Now, on how can men have a financial literacy? For me, these things are about discussion. And you know, the standard is openly talk about your finances, but they are hard. But you must reach a point. For example, as a man, what is that one thing you can teach yourself to take charge of in a home? Okay? If it is buying bread, if your wife is an empowered woman and you make sure that all the bread every day is bought by you, she will not ask you for more. But you want to come home with nothing. But you are smelling alcohol, you are smelling muchomo, then you belching, you could even puke, hangover. These things don't work like that. Okay? Financial literacy is the ability for you to know that I have a responsibility at home. If it is fees, what can you bring? If it is food, what can you bring? But also participate in the simple things. If a child at home needs a set, do we wait for the mother because she's the one who has money? These things are tricky, but we must build our own resilience, but we must be people who value and accept that every parent has a role, a duty, and a responsibility. Thank you.
Thank you. I received a few questions as well, and I would like also to shed in my opinions. We also expect some opinions, by the way, not only questions. We can as well learn from you. There's this question, what determines the worth of the man? Now, which worth? But I think the net worth, the worthness, I don't know, but I'll try to approach it the very way I understood it. I'll say attach yourself a brand. Represent a brand. I got to know Mr. Dennis from one of my friends, Ramadan Chimbugwe. We were working on a project, and he told me, if you want this to succeed, engage this man. And this is my first time to see you. Yes. But you see, Ramadan recommended, by the way, the data is coming because we are seeking to involve you in a big project. Because someone said, if we have you, we will succeed. He represents a brand. So he is worthy. You get it? He is worth our attention. Because he represents a brand. They say that even when you're a sweeper, sweep like you're the best sweeper in the world. you will be successful. But we live in a society where if you're driving a nice car past the main gate, Afande is very annoyed because he does not love what he does. He's very annoyed. He's not fine. And then the message is, even when you're an askari, perform like you're the best in the whole world. That is the attribute, European countries have. Because even when they are street cleaners, some of them, they are perfectionists, and they will tell you, I am successful, and not in Uganda particularly. So for me, if you want to have the worthness now, maybe if that's what you meant, or maybe to be known for something, or maybe to say you are worth our attention, represent a brand. Represent a brand. I tell my students, how do you really sit in class and spend a whole month when I don't call you by name? I'm like why? The lecturer does not know you by name. Has taught you for 4 years. Really? No. In 1 week, you should be a student that the lecturer calls by name. It means there is something. You get it? You know the things of Onesimus, what? Onesimus. He said civil. Yeah, civil. Onesimus, but this man has taught you for 4 years. So represent some values, represent a certain category of expertise. And I want to tell you, men will do what? Yeah, we'll come and see you as a source of knowledge. Someone says, I am a leader in many fields. However, I am finding issues in multitasking. I'm a leader in many fields. However, I'm finding issues in multitasking. What advice do you give me? Maybe I'll also allow Dennis maybe to shed an opinion here. But from where I'm seated, if you're a leader in many fields and you have issues with multitasking, then leverage on the power of delegation. Trust other men. You see, we have officers who believe they are the only people who can do that. And that's a very wrong mindset. Where you reach and believe you're the smartest person, that is wrong. There are people actually that are better than you. Let me tell you, they don't have the opportunities you have. Have you seen a legislator speak in parliament and you have this feeling of, I can do better? But you don't have the opportunity. You're not. But you have a feeling of, or a presenter, those of you that watch news. Someone, thank you so much. My name is Christmas Monzera. I am appearing. And you're like, I think I can do better. You see someone struggling, and you're like, I think I can do better. But let me tell you, he has the opportunity and you don't. So if you want to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, can you also trust men around you and delegate? Where possible, if you cannot appear in 10 places at the same time, can you choose to send someone? I told mom recently that I will be the happiest man on this planet if I am part of the audience and my wife is addressing us. Did you really get that? Like if I have someone very confident, right? And I'm part of the audience, and the one speaking is my wife. And if you want to make the day the best, recognize me. Ladies and gentlemen, I came along with my husband. You can stand up for recognition. Wow. Wow. But not... Thank you. Thank you. You see, I want someone When I'll be in Kampala, I will give a call. Represent me at mast. There is this taking place. I trust you. Yours in love, Chris. Did you get that? I am in Kampala. I'm unable to this event. Kindly represent me. I trust you. Yours in love, Chris. That's because you've delegated, you cannot be there, but you have someone you have trusted. You have someone whose potentials you can rely on. So, I'll wait for some other opinions, but on that, that's particularly what I can share. And then someone is saying, how do you differentiate between a period of comfortability and that of unrest? Like, how do you tell you're comfortable? Let me tell you this as I conclude. The bottom is very congested. Do you agree? The bottom is congested. And let me tell you this. You know it is raining on you when you get wet. Isn't it? How do you tell you are in a state of comfortability, like you're very comfortable? One speaker said that if you're the smartest in your team, change the team because you're not growing. If you think you're the smartest in the team, let me tell you, when you tell you're very comfortable, it is only when you do the speaking and others do the listening. Like, you are the only person talking and others are only doing. Or even when you're in a discussion, you're only at the giving end. Others sit at the receiving. You are the losing end. Like, it is you. When you call for a discussion, you don't have a moment where you will sit and listen to someone. It is you sharing. Understand you're too comfortable. Change the society. Robin Sharma says, today I declare that I'm surrounding myself with people who are smarter, faster, stronger, and better than me. So I'll be uplifted by their models and inspired by their examples. I understand how it feels, especially Arsenal fans. I am an Arsenal fan. I am completely... I don't know what happens, but I love your the confidence of having to keep here even when something is happening. So, stop being comfortable. And you know you're comfortable only when you're in a place that people do the listening, you do the speaking, people do the taking of notes, you discuss for them, you are the only source of knowledge, a source of wisdom. Understand you're too comfortable and change. I joined a school for bursary. You know, when I got done with my PLE, a school offered a bursary in Shema. The school is Shema Premier School. So I went there and I contested the head prefect, O level. You're the head prefect, leading the whole school with A level. Senior 3. You're the head prefect, Shema Premier School, leading a school with 300 students in A level. So, I had shorts. Guys from A level asked me to get a trouser. Every time I would enter their class, they would tell me, HP, go and put on something, at least you're naked. Until HM proposed and allowed me to get a trouser. So I put on a trouser in senior 3. I became a king at Shema Premier School. Whenever I would speak, everyone would listen, including teachers. I started giving teachers orders. No, the school is in Shema Premier School, you know. I was very powerful. The most powerful HP in O level senior 3. You get it? I was too comfortable. Remember, I was on school's bursary. Every time director would remind me, your bursary is conditioned. You must perform. If we don't get below 12 in senior 4, you will pay all the money we have injected in. You get the condition now. Now, I realized I was losing track. Remember, I joined the school because I was seduced by the bursary they offered. Guys, let me tell you, I was a king. I realized I was too comfortable. I needed to change the space. Let me tell you something. When I defied orders and joined Ngano High School, I was a very stupid young kid. And I could never even speak and anyone listened. A completely different environment at Ngano High School. I became very stupid. No one would even listen. I thought I knew English. Every time I would speak, guys would look at me. I think you need to go back and visit your dictionary, the words you're using. Correct. Yes, I even applied to join Interact Club and my application was declined. Why? Because I was unable to do the breakdance things and I was unable. And they said, and they brought a lady from Chivingo. I could not sustain a conversation with a lady from Chivingo for 10 minutes. And the guy said, you cannot join Interact Club. So I was very stupid. Guys went for social at Masheruka. And my name was dropped. You're not going for social. Remember, Shema Premier is a neighboring school, just a stone's throw. If you know Shema here, Kabohe. I was a king. I almost told my mom, can I go back to Shema Premier? Let me tell you, when I changed the environment, I grew. I realized I was not smart. Let me tell you guys, if you think you are smart, pray to meet smarter people. When you come here and speak, and then he stands up to teach you, you must listen. You feel challenged. Subject yourselves to an environment where you will be challenged and take a bow. Chris is my name. Thank you.
Gentlemen, once again, a round of applause to all our panelists. I'm glad that we have come to the end of Q&A session. We have tried our level best to catch up with time, and yeah, we have tried our level best. Without wasting time, Arsenal fans are on fire. Without wasting time, first of all, I had recognized the presence of the Guild, the 37th Guild, representatives, JRCs and the ministers around. And on the agenda, the next point on the agenda is remarks from the Guild President. He has an excuse, he didn't afford to be with us today due to some other official engagements of the Guild. And there's a delegate he had to send to us to honor this event. Let me take this opportunity to welcome the Minister of Finance to come and represent the Guild President on his behalf. A round of applause to welcome her. She's a big woman around. Yeah.
Our guest of today, the big men in the house, I greet you all. First and foremost, I want to thank the Almighty God for bringing this day to this where we have reached. Yeah, so first and foremost, I want to thank the panelists for making it today, because we have been waiting for this day to see the men empowered and, motivated. Thank you so much, and thank you. Then I would like to take the opportunity to thank the Minister of Gender. Thank you so much for, let's really clap for her. She has really done a great job, because pulling this event to the final is always not easy. My name is Komas Marianita. I'm the finance minister, and I also served as a minister of gender and guidance. I think in history, I was the first person to bring the men empowerment, because I remember hosting women activities and men were like, why men? And I'm really glad that she has really followed the same path of, empowering the boy child. Thank you so much. Yeah, so today I've really learned a lot, and I hope as in everyone has also learned from the speakers of today, because to me, what stands for me most, a man is a person with value. And value, to me, I understand that it is that self-control, the self-discipline, the self-improvement of yourself, to see yourself reach there. Because as women, for us, they've been telling us, be that lady, and now it's be that man. Be that man you want to be. If you want something, be intentional. One of our speakers said, be intentional in what you're doing, even though you see you're lagging behind. Have that mentor, have that role model. In case you're stuck, then ask. Let's not die in the silence, because you see we have this, aspect of men are men. Even when you have something that is really hitting you hard, you want to stay, in that silence because you are a man. We are in the period of the women are more empowered, and it is the time for the men to also show up. Let us, develop that aspect of valuing ourselves and being intentional. Otherwise, I want to take the opportunity to thank the Office of the Deputy Dean, Ms. Maureen Kahima. I want to send my appreciation for always supporting these engagements of making sure the men are more empowered, to make sure there is gender equality. If women are empowered, also let men be empowered. So great thanks to the Office of the Deputy Dean. We thank you. It not stop here. We are not having these events to hear talk, get inspired, get motivated, and it ends here. Let's go practice it. Let's go have that, that self-discipline, that self-control of ourselves, and doing what is really required of us. Otherwise, I want to thank you all. Thanks for coming. Thanks for sparing your time, because I know there were actually hot games today, but you really had to stand out of those people that said, let's go for match, and you had to come here, and we don't take that for granted. Thank you so much, and have a blessed night. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kovmans Marianita, President Delegate for today. We have come to the end of our session, or our event, but before we close, we're going for a photo moment just for 2 minutes, and the criteria is the criteria is as follows. We're going to have Madam Finance, you're going to come back, then the Minister of Gender, then all the JRCs first. We're going to have a picture with our panelists in front of our banner. Then thereafter, all the men can join. Then thereafter, we shall have a closing prayer. Then we go. Then our panelists will allow them to take their soda, and then we leave. Yeah, JRCs, ministers, Mr. Ori Bernard. Mr. Ori Bernard. JRCs, ministers, going to have a photo with the panelists in front of the banner. Plus all the committee members of this event, you can also step forward. Yeah, with great honor, I request our dearest panelists to stand up for a photo. And maybe the cameraman can position us. Yes, MC, you can join the pic.
she told me, baby, please, just please me. Don't you ever leave me.
Yeah, the cameramen are like, we can come in front of the table. Sorry for interruption.